Welcome to today's Scrap Mechanic. We are jumping into survival. I'm going to do the first couple of days, a kind of quick tutorial for everybody, some do's and don'ts for new players, or just, jumping into your own world. Alright, so we start out, laying down, taking a nap. We have to, work ourselves up to, the running around part. Okay. Starting out the game, you can see down in the bottom right, you have your logbook flashing. This is just your quick guide to what you need to do, where things are. It also has the day and time on it, which is very useful for when you actually get to farming. Alright, and then if you actually have beacons, that's where you find that. And then you can set your waypoints here. And there is the waypoint. Alright, so you have to start out by putting out some fires. And just so everyone knows, there is a second bucket just over here at the farm, which is very useful. And while you're here, you can start by planting a couple of things. You don't have to plant a lot, just a little bit. And then make sure you water them. You can, from a distance, grab water, and you can also throw water from a distance, which is nice. You don't have to be right on top of everything, and it saves you lots of travel time going back and forth. And you see how it spreads when you throw it? You can actually hit multiple plots of soil and water them. If you actually aim it properly, you can usually get anywhere from 1 to 3 plots of soil. And then we are putting out fires. So we only have 2 buckets. We'll just have to go back and get another one. And this is a quick way to load your buckets with water. As you can see, they're quickly loaded. I'll show you that again. All you gotta do is jump in the water, make sure you're far enough in, and then just scroll past your buckets and it will just auto-fill them. It's a great little thing if you have a lot of buckets to fill. Alright, they do have to be on your hotbar. Alright, and then that is cleared out, and then it will tell us the next thing to do. There's a couple of things inside the ship you can grab. You don't have to, but you can if you want. Alright, this is what we need, a master battery. So that is over there on the HUD, and we are working our way towards that. These are some loot chests you can find. You have to break them with your hammer because that's all you have for an option right now. And then you always want to, inventory management. It's very helpful to inventory management. Alright. Just a couple things you need for later. You just pick them up as you go. You always need more loot. Alright, and then you just work your way around. There's sometimes more chests when you load your world than other times. Oh, scrap wheel. All the scrap stuff you don't need. I'll eventually get to that stuff later. Alright. And so I went back there because every now and then there's a chest back that way. And a third bucket, you don't need it, but you can always pick it up. Alright, and your first actual combat. These are tote bots, also known as greenies. Alright, they always drop a circuit board, so that's always helpful if you need circuit boards. Just search for some greenies. And then over here, you have your first bit of metal. What you do to these, you don't have to pick them up, I just because you can, just showing that you can, and then you place them on the world. And then you refine them by your hand tool. It takes a little bit, but that's all you have right now, so you'll get to actual mechanisms later. Yep. Alright, whenever you see these, always empty them. You can put everything in your inventory if you want, but you want it empty so that way stuff will respawn in a few days inside of it. Stuff tends to not respawn if it's already full. Alright, and then here is the battery that we need for our current quest. What you do is you just hold right click and you'll pick it up. There you go. And don't forget to explore the entire ruins because you might miss some items that you'll need for later. Alright, and then here's a quick way to grab everything. Just hold right click and just sweep past it. That's all you need to do. You don't have to sit there and press E on everything. Well, default control is Z. Alright, I'm just showing you the entire first ruins that you're going to come to. That way you have an idea of what to look for. Alright, Ooh, there we go. That's a good. A bearing is really helpful at this stage. All right, and then of course always empty your garbage cans. I just call those garbage cans. That's what they kind of look like. All right, and grab all this. There we go. And there is that. So you think you're done, but you're not. You can actually get up there, and I will show you how. You actually have your own elevator, which is your lift. This is what you use to build vehicles on and everything like that, but you can actually just jump on it and ride it to the top. It only goes so high, but you can place a new one. You can only have one of these out in the world, so anytime you place your lift, it will disappear, as you can see. Alright, and then we just ride it up again. See, there is another chest up here. And that is why you explore your ruins. From top to bottom. Well, bottom to top. Unless you have a flyer, then you can go top to bottom. Alright, and then there is falling damage. As you can see, I will, show right here. There is falling damage. It doesn't hurt a lot, but regenning your health takes more food out of your bars. So keep that in mind. Okay, and then there we go. That part of the quest is done. It activates this craft bot over here. It lets you build scrap items and things like that, but the only thing you need out of here is your connect tool, which you can just build if you have enough resources. And there we go. That is that quest done, which tells us to go to the mechanic station. And you can just set your waypoint there and turn around, and it's way over there. There you go. And that is the first initial part of the quest. And then you can grab these if you want to. That's a 4 storage unit and a 1 storage unit. There's a radio, but don't touch it. All right. And then over here, there is items back here. I'll grab one. You can grab through the fire, but then I'll show you how to do this really quick. Just grab your another water bucket, throw it on. There you go. Clears that out. You can get some gas, which apparently doesn't burn in the fire. And then sun shakes, which are super helpful. Alright, I already have a stack of sun shakes. I always save them for doing warehouses later, which are what you really can use them for. Just doing quick inventory management, putting your food with your food, and your seeds with your seeds, Alright, so we want to keep your bearing, your metal, and your gas for later. This is storage units you can use for later. And this is all food stuff right here. Oh, we can put the soil with that. Alright, soil only stacks in a stack of 5. And our connect tool is done, so we want that. Make sure you grab it. There we go. Alright, and then that we use for later. I'm not doing a building tutorial right now, so I will not go into detail on that. Alright, I will explain some food since the pop-up came up. You got hunger, you got thirst. Different food items get you different amounts of food, or hunger versus thirst. Tomatoes are really good for thirst, but not hunger. Carrots are really good for hunger, but not thirst. And then beets are good for both of them equally. Alright, this thing right here, I'm sure you saw it on the ground. If you pick it up, it will start a build quest. And then you cannot finish the build quest until you finish your vehicle. I highly suggest you do not pick this up, unless of course you want to build the vehicle and learn how. But I highly suggest you do challenge mode before you do survival. But either way, if you pick it up, starts the quest, you build it with scrap items, and scrap items are pretty useless. That's why I say skip it. Alright, so we are jumping into just grabbing some more loot, and this is a great explanation of something you do not need. You do not need to pick up chemicals. It'll just clog up your inventory. There are things later where you can just grab chemicals, and you just don't need to grab them when you're out and about. Alright. Another quick tip for you. If you can't see around something, you can hold Control and mouse wheel out, and you will be able to zoom in and out with your camera. Alright, and make sure you grab the rest of this stuff. That way you have some more seeds and soil for later. This is some free wood if you want it. You can grab anything else you want here. The only thing I really need off from this piece is this one bearing. Alright, you can grab the seeds too if you want. That way you just have more tomato seeds. helpful if you're, going to be farming, which pretty much everyone needs to do. All right, and then we were just waiting for these to finish growing. That way we can harvest them and be on our way. All right, so we have a couple. Some of the other ones didn't pop, so what you do is you just take your bucket and you can force grow them. It works most of the time. There you go. Oh, that one actually grew at the exact same time. That was weird. All right, and then all you do is just, hold your right click and sweep across, and done. There you go. And make sure you grab your plots of soil afterwards, because you generally don't come back here. You can if you want, the resources in the area. All right. This is where it starts to get hard. We are moving beyond the first ruins that we actually got down the hill a little more. This is where we run into haybots. Now, the quick way to avoid them is just get on your lift. Just ride it up. They can't get you up here. You're safe. Every time they hit it, it lowers it, so you got to remember to keep raising it back up. And I always duck down and start swinging your hammer at them. That way you can get them easier. All right, and there we go. There's two. They each take 5 swings from the hammer. Here, I'll show you how to avoid them while you're just running around. Just keep doing circles like this. You'll be fine. All right, here you go. Nice and easy. And then you just got to clear out all your stuff on the ground. All right, and then inside of here, we got, ooh, yay, another scrap wheel to throw away. And, ooh, see, and then there you go. Always clear it out. Even if you don't need it, just clear it out so that way stuff can respawn in there. All right, a quick thing to do or not do, it's up to you. You can use the pieces of the robot, put it down, and it distracts the other robot. He attacks it, but it breaks it, but that means you don't get the metal from it. All right, so we're going back over to the quest, which is go to the mechanic station. Yep, I know what I'm doing. I've done tutorials before. All right, we're back at it. We're getting some corn. You can't eat the corn, but you can feed the corn to the woks. And there's 2 woks over here. It's cow backwards because the udders are on their head, which makes them backwards. All right. It takes 3 corn to get 1 milk from a wok. So you can just feed them 3 and wait for the wok to eat the corn. And then there you go. There's some free food. You can use milk a lot to compensate for not having other food. It gives you lots of water and some food, some hunger. All right, and as you're going towards the mechanic station, take a slight detour. If you see rock formations, get some beeswax, because beeswax is very helpful because you will need it for making wheels if you plan on making a car. All right. Oh, hey, what are you doing out here, out in the middle of nowhere? All right, there we go. And haybots have a chance to drop a component kit or a circuit board, and then always clean up after yourself so that way there isn't a lot of entities laying around on your world. All right, a good time to eat because we are low on thirst and hunger, and we will use a beet to top us off. Oh, it didn't get us all the way up on hunger. All right, we are back at mechanic station, or firstly at mechanic station, first time here. All right. And we'll get into this once we get rid of this guy that's coming over. Hello. Do you mind? I'm busy trying to show people what to do here. There we go. Clear this out, of course. And we have a tote bot coming for us as well. Hello? Come on. Thank you for, coming over here. Oh, and the woks are coming to party too. Alrighty. Okay, so this is the inside of the mechanic station. We have to power it on just like we did with the ship. What? Oh, come on. I am busy. Please leave me alone. Yep. Thank you. All right. And then, of course, keep clearing it out. All right. This is the mechanic station, as I was saying. You have to power it on, and the battery is in number 2. All right. It's always in number 2. And there is actually a haybot that spawns in here. So a way to make it so that you can hopefully not get attacked in a tight space like this is just put your lift in the doorway and it will block him or distract him, and then you can just take him out. All right. His robot piece did not fall down, so we'll just go on. And you just pump your battery in there, activates the mechanic station, which also activates another CraftBot over here, but this is just a little CraftBot. What you really want to do is just come over here and activate the console, and you can build a actual big CraftBot, which has a lot more crafting options. And I hope everyone enjoyed today's. Come again another time if you enjoyed it, and have yourselves a wonderful day.